what did you say?
It's just so much more special to receive that in the mail than
exactly.
You're clicking like you always do all day long.
When's the last time any of you, raise your hand if you've received a personal note this year?
That's why I joined.
Did you throw it away?
No. That's why I joined Williams.
Oh, really?
It was a handwritten note.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I was from all the other agents, like
Yeah.
brokerages, they sent me like just letters that were pre-printed.
Yeah.
And this one was handwritten, and I was just like, whoa.
That's how you can kind of cut through the noise, is you actually write a handwritten note, because nobody writes anything these days. They text and they email. So if you can write the note, you're going to make an impression. You're going to make a lingering, long-lasting impression. And that's really, I saved the first note that someone ever sent me. He wrote me a note and said, oh my gosh, Natalie, it's been 10 plus years since someone's ever sent me a handwritten note. I so appreciate blah, 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 blah. I still have that letter. It was actually a letter that he sent me. So leave a lingering impression. Again, they're going to remember you, right? They're not going to, not that they won't remember if you text, they're much more apt to remember you if you actually take the time and write a note. Okay, so really important. So the 10 people that you're contacting, you're going to write them a note. So do you think you should go buy some notes? Yeah, go buy some notes. Or you can, again, Buffini and Company, they give you 50 notes a month that you write out. Okay, so you're also, one of the things you need to know is you need to be an expert in this market. So whether you're in Danville, or whether you're in Livermore, or San Ramon, or wherever you're at, you need to become an expert in that marketplace in a very quick time frame. What's a way you could become an expert in your market?
City council meetings.
That's a bonus. Yeah, you can do that. I'm just sticking to the script though. You actually do it. You go to marketing.
I go to all of them, yeah.
Oh, that's what you meant. The marketing meetings.
Yes, that too, yes.
Yeah. So a lot of the cities have these marketing meetings where you can go and it's fun. You chit chat, you meet people, you're networking, you get coffee, donuts, whatever they're serving, right? Burritos. You announce the listings, and then they have these things called broker tours. You go on the broker tours. This is asking you to see 10 homes in your market on a weekly basis. Absolutely critical. That way, when you meet people at open houses, you meet people on the streets, you meet people, you overhear a conversation at the coffee shop, and you hear them talking about a house, you can speak to the house. Oh my gosh, you know what, I actually saw that house. It happens all the time. So that's the best way to become very familiar with the inventory. Not only does it help you with the buyer side, it helps you with the listing side, which brings up another little conversation about the average agent. Average agent is a buyer's agent, never gets past being a buyer's agent. They'll sell 4 to 6 houses a year. That's the average agent, actually 4 to 10. You want to become a listing specialist. In this business, they say you list to last, right? And actually, with further training, you'll realize that you list last. In other words, if you come across a listing, hey, number one, can I buy it? Could I partner with someone and buy it and fix it and flip it? Your mind, there's so much stuff you can do in real estate. It's really cool when you have a different mindset. Okay, so again, you're going to go to your database, try to do 10, not try, no such thing as try. You're going to have 10 a day. If you run out of people to call, we're going to get to that point, and it's going to be called door knocking and open houses. That's where you meet other people. You're going to prospect again, at least 10 people in your database. You're going to follow up, writing a note, an email, or whatever that follow-up method for you. Could be a pop-by, right? You could go knock on the door. Hey, oh my gosh, it was so great to see you. You're going to know your market. This is your 10-4s. So when Lloyd asks you what your 10-4s are, you're going to know what the heck he's talking about, okay? This is going to be expected of you every week. Make sense? Okay, and again, that's on page 31 if you want to review it. We're going to move along. All right. The next page on 32, it says how to complete your 10-4s, so you can review that later. Success tracking, I'm not going to worry about that. Let's fast forward to page 35, influencing sales language. When I think of sales language, I think of sales scripts, right? Asking the right questions. And here I'm just going to read what they're saying. Hey, did you find everything you were looking for? Let's say you're at an open house. Go ahead, look around. Please let me know if I can help you. Don't be the agent that's sitting up on the desk when people walk in and then don't make eye contact. You want to make eye contact. You want to say, hey, thank you so much for coming. If you're the listing agent, announce yourself as a listing agent. Be polite and friendly. Don't be standoffish, but then don't stalk them. You don't want to become a stalker. There are agents who do that. Don't do it. Give people their personal space. They're going to tell you what their personal space is. Some people will stand there, and then some people will get real close to you, and then some people you need to be reading people's personalities. That's how you're going to connect with people. All right. What else do we have on that? We're supposed to fill in the blanks in the middle of page 36. All right. In the middle it says, since we are first in the business of lead generation, what are we really saying about our job? And we're going to fill in the blanks. Right here. Are you on page 36?
Yes.
Well, your page 36 looks different than mine. Oh, no, I'm sorry,
35.
35. All right, so talking to people about their real estate needs and the needs of the people they know. That's what we're supposed to fill in. So talking to people about their real estate needs and the needs of the people they know. That's really what we're doing with people when we're talking about real estate. And they're saying that there's two ways to do it. You can chat it up with whoever happens to cross your path. And if real estate comes up, great. And if it doesn't, oh well, I'm sure you get a deal one of these days. That's the first one. That's entrepreneurial. So in other words, that's not being purposeful. The second is being very purposeful. Know exactly who you want to talk to. Block the time to communicate. Be prepared to have the conversations that lead you to providing value in exchange for them helping you to grow your business. So the conversations we had prior to talking about this when we were kind of role playing, does that kind of make sense about how you're trying to be of value? Rather than I'm not just trying to get something from her, I'm providing value to her. Does that make sense? You really want to keep that mindset. And I'm going to give you another example. So a lot of people are afraid to knock on doors because they think they are what?
Bothering them.
Bothering people, annoying them. What might you be doing if you knock on a door? What else could you do to provide value if you actually went and knocked on someone's door? Think about it. It's a homeowner. A lot of them have been there a long time. What's the one thing people want to know about their home? What's the value of their home? So if you as the expert, you've seen the houses in the neighborhood because you're seeing 10 a week. If you're going door to door, let's say you brought a market snapshot for the city of Danville, okay? You go door to door, you answer the door, and you can strike up a conversation, hey, I'm just dropping off information about home values in your area. Is that something that might interest you? And then if yes, you just hand them that information. So you don't really need to think hard about what you're providing as long as it's something of value. And then if they show interest, hey, if you're interested, we actually have this amazing tool called Neighborhoods. It's your own website. You actually can click on it day-to-day basis and know the value of your home on a really minute-to-minute basis. Is that something you might be interested in? We actually have that tool. It's really cool. Really, really cool. It's actually creating an own website for a client in a neighborhood. And so if any of you are geographical farming, you want to be doing this now. You want to be the first to implement this kind of system. So you can make up any reason when you go door to door as long as you're providing value. Trust me, they want to know. All they really care about is what their house is worth. And then years can go by, and then they will call you when it's time, as long as you are consistently going back and being the person that's the go-to. Again, knowing the resources of when they need things about their house. Okay? All right, and then page 38, we're going to skip ahead. Page 37, 38 talks about scripts. We do have script practice right now. It's in the Livermore office. We're going to try to get it started here in Pleasanton. And that's on a regular basis, Monday, Tuesday. A lot of people do have accountability partners where you can actually call another partner. I'm not sure if they're going to be doing that in this class, where you can call them, let's say, twice a week and do a script practice on the phone. So you don't necessarily have to do it. They do it during the BOLD training, but I'm not sure about this training. Okay, so we're going to skip past scripts. It actually has some scripts here. I'm going to encourage you to read through these. Your goal is not to necessarily learn them verbatim and use them verbatim. Your goal is to internalize the points that they're trying to make. Does that make sense? So when you read it, it might sound kind of dumb and dorky and like, oh my God, I'd never say that. And that's probably the case, but believe it or not, when you actually read it this way and you internalize it and use inflection and however you speak to your friends, it actually sounds pretty professional. But once you understand the concept of whatever the script is referring to, whether it's an objection or trying to get an appointment or trying to close for a sale, you're going to internalize it and you're going to make it sound like you. And that comes with practice. You're not going to get this overnight. You need to practice it. Our goal is always to read it 5-6 times, know what it's saying, understand what it's saying, and then once you understand what it's saying, you'll then articulate it in your own voice. Make sense? So again, make sure you read through that before next week. Lloyd may or may not have you go through that stuff. So we're going to fast forward. How much time do we have? Oh, God, hurry. Okay. Calling scripts, we're not doing that. We don't have time. Again, read those scripts. We're talking again about being accountable to your big why and your monetary goals. You can't stress that enough. Again, get a binder if you do not have one for this class. I would recommend getting a thick, I don't know if I have mine here, a hardback binder, not the flimsy one. Get a hardback so it's a little bit more substantial. You can write your ahas, books that people recommend, quotes that are of interest to you. If you do other reading outside the class, it's a book that you want to go and memorialize things that were like ahas to you. Because what's going to happen is you're going to forget those during the week or next week or a month later, and then you'll go back and go, oh yeah, I wanted to do that. Highly recommend, again, hardback booklet, get that for the class, and you should be journaling. When you look at most successful people, they all have journals. They all do affirmations, they have journals, they have accountability partners. These are all the things that successful people do. So I would suggest if you want to be successful, get a hardback journal, okay? And then bring that back and tell Lloyd, Natalie told me to do it. All right, being accountable, we're going to skip past that. Prioritizing activities. Live by the calendar. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. This is so Lloyd too. We actually just did a training program called COHS. It's Certified Open House Trained, or Certified Open House, oh shoot, what's the S? Certified Open House Specialist. There you go. And part of it is calendaring to be purposeful about being successful at open houses. And when we show this training program to you, you'll notice that it starts from like Monday. If you don't have a listing, you're going to call someone who does, right? You're going to get certified, you're going to take the class, and then you're going to put on the calendar, call for an open house. Once you get the open house, you're going to look at the disclosures, then you're going to pull the comps, and then you're going to door knock around the listing. And then you're going to do these things, and it's all going to go on your calendar. Again, not being entrepreneurial, but being very purposeful in order to get business from that open house, because until you have listings, you have no business. That's actually saying in real estate, if you have no listings, you don't have a business. So you need to partner with people who have businesses, and that means being very diligent about doing open houses, locking the doors, closing the windows, flushing the toilet, leaving the house the way it was left when you got there. I mean, it sounds dumb, but again, simple, not easy. We've seen everyone kind of mess this up over time. So we've created this program where if you did that, you literally could build your business on that and be very good at open houses. Open houses are now business. So you want now business, you want medium range business, and you want long-term business. And so you need to just focus on what you can do today so that as you're building, you can have all of those things. Make sense? Okay? So live by the calendar. Lloyd will definitely be getting more into that stuff. Who here has heard of time blocking? Do you guys time block? How do you time block, Gary?
Well, I plan the day ahead for the things I'm going to do the next day. And I say I have a half hour for that and 2 hours for that.
Okay. Do you plan just your day ahead, or do you plan for the week, or?
A day, really.
Okay. Okay. So what I would encourage you to do, and I'm sure Ignite will get into this, as you develop your business plan, you got a yearly plan, right? You got a monthly plan. You got a weekly plan, and you got a daily plan, and you got an hourly plan. And some of those things are big rocks. Big rocks are the things that you have to do that are non-negotiables. Again, the 5 things that who here can say the 5 things? What are your 5 jobs? Who wants to? Okay, say it.
Lead generation, follow-up, negotiation, contracts, and appointment.
Beautiful, beautiful. Those are your big rocks. Those need to go into your time blocking and your plan. Okay, so on a daily basis, if that is not already written into your calendar, it needs to be. And at some point, I'm sure Lloyd's going to ask you, show me your calendar. You show me your calendar, you show me your business. Because if it's not in there right now, you don't have business. It needs to be written into your plan. So are you calling from 9 to 11? Are you calling from 11 to 1? Are you door knocking from 1 to 4? Are you door knocking from 5 to 7? Do you have a time slot from, let's say, 6 to 8 for listing appointments? Again, if it's not in your calendar, it's not in your plan and it's not in your business. So if someone looks at your calendar, that's what your business should look like. I would recommend color coding. Color coding. So if it's lead gen, it's green time. That's green for money. That needs to be non-negotiable. You cannot not have that in your calendar. Okay, make sense? Again, Lloyd will get into that, and he's very good at that, and he's very intentional and purposeful. Again, getting away, yes, it's great to be an entrepreneur, but if you are an entrepreneur and not purposeful, you will not have business. All right, how much time? We have like 2 minutes. All right, we're going to fast forward. It just talks about living by your calendar. I cannot stress that enough. And when I say real estate simple, not easy, it's mostly related to this calendar because you're going to get distracted. You got kids, you're running your errands, you're running lock boxes, you're doing flyers, you're doing accounting, you're going to lunch. Oh, I'm hungry. Oh no, I need to go to coffee. Oh, I forgot this. You're going to try to do everything but what's in your calendar. The goal is to focus on the calendar, but if you don't have it in the calendar, again, you do not have a business. And I know I'm harping on you a little bit, but this is absolutely critical. This is where most people fail, right? Again, show me your business, show me your calendar. So you need to look at that, print out 1 month, okay, or maybe 1 week, and then put in there when you're going to have your intended time for your lead generation and lead follow-up, okay? So those 5 things that I told you about, that needs to be calendared in your calendar, okay? All right. Okay. And before we head out, it looks like you're going to be picking accountability partners. We didn't get to that today, but know that Lloyd's going to expect that you have a partner. So start thinking about, hey, who can I partner with here who will be consistent, and when we say we're calling at 8 a.m. is going to pick up the phone, okay? Because you're going to be doing scripts and stuff like that based on what I'm seeing in here in the Ignite. So just, again, keep that in mind. Be consistent. You don't want to let other people down by not being available during that time. All right, and then they want you to be committed to the program. So on page 63, they do this with bold training too. Just kind of read through this, and in order to, I guess, have skin in the game, you actually want to confess to someone. You know, Justin can go, hey. Give a friend Jason, hey Jason, I'm actually taking part in this program, and I'm just letting you know about it. And I know it sounds kind of silly, but I checked this box. I'm just letting you know I'm doing it, and then when I'm done, I'm going to tell you that I did it. Again, just being accountable to it. And so when you do this and you actually share it with someone else, there's a real good chance you're not going to let people down, and you're actually going to do the program. Okay? And then putting it all together on the back side, on page 65. Kind of a checklist of things that we went over today. So you kind of want to start going through this. That way when Lloyd comes back and maybe talks about this, you can say that you've gone through a lot of this stuff. We didn't go through everything, but we went through the big rocks, okay? And let me just look at the last couple pages, make sure I'm not missing anything big. Preparing for your next class on 66. Again, the 10 4-4s, the 10 contacts, the people that you know, putting 10 people in your database. Those are the things you're going to do on a weekly basis, and that's what you're going to report in when you come in next week. We're going to make sure that you did that. Now, do each of you have a system to keep your people, to keep your relationships? Raise your hand if you don't have a system, like you don't have an Excel spreadsheet, you don't have a CRM, no? If you don't have one, I recommend that you initially start on Command. Even though Command is not 100% functional for large teams, it is 100% functional for you. And all you do is go to kwcommand.com or whatever. You can go on there and start inputting your people into that database. It does amazing stuff. So you have a database, you're just not using it yet. Right? You have a CRM for your contact management, you're just not using it yet. If you don't have a contact management system, again, you don't have a business. So you need to get one. Could be an Excel spreadsheet, but I highly recommend use one. And they say the best one is the one that you actually use. Make sense? Okay. So when you come back, each of you will have that system. Each of you will at least have 10 people in your database and hopefully have made 10 phone calls to qualify the people you know. And if you ask the question that we talked about, you might get a referral. So hopefully some of you get a referral. And then start thinking about partnering with people in the business and people in our office who have open houses. Maybe you can fill in for the open houses and then add those people to your database. Okay? All right.
Does it matter that if you experience around like newbies like me and get open houses?
I mean, it does. It depends on the listing, in all honesty. I mean, and it depends on the client. If a house is vacant, it doesn't necessarily matter all that much. But just know, anytime you're doing business in people's homes, you need to assume that you're being watched and listened at all times. Because I've had people hold open houses for our team, and they were being watched and they were being listened, and they maybe not have realized it, and they've said things that were just like jaw-dropping. And I get phone calls, get them out of my house right now. I'm like, oh, what happened? Oh my God. I could tell you stories, right? People leaving windows unlocked, not flushing toilets, leaving sinks on, leaving the water on, not locking doors and windows, not closing the blinds. I mean, people just get really lazy, so it really depends on the client. And so obviously you as a professional, you want to be professional, right? You want to be professional, and so you want to always be responsible. Part of that is responsibility. That's why we have that certified open house specialist training now, that if you pass that or take that class, the office will know that you're certified, so to speak, and that you know what to do, how to prepare for the open house, how to close up properly, how to send feedback, and then thank the agent for providing you the opportunity. So it, again, just depends on the situation.
Is that through Keller Williams?
It's going to be through Keller Williams. We created it for our team, but we're now getting it certified for our office.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
I was
pretty
just wondering
cool.
if it was a designation or if this was specific.
It's not a specific designation, just for our office. Just because
How do we
we've
know
seen
what
so
that
many
is?
problems.
Yeah.
How do we know what that
That's
is
nice.
before it gets there?
Right now it's in beta. We're doing it at the end of the month. We have it in beta. It went to Jen House. We're going to teach it in our team, and then at the end of the month we're going to teach it for the office.
What's the
Yeah.
name?
Has that been-
How do you?
It's
talk
just a
about it?
certified open house specialist class or
Has that already been
certified.
scheduled on the phone?
I believe so. It's like it's end of this month,
Oh.
and it'll go out on an email. It'll be on the site.
Okay.
But again, it's just to make people more aware of just being professional, being present, and doing the things that you should do as a professional to represent the seller well, and to represent the listing agent well, and represent yourself well, and so you can get business. All right, you guys, so make sure you take the homework seriously. Lloyd's really going to appreciate it. You're going to get a ton out of the class. Again, 90% of it is showing up, and then you're going to do the rest, okay? Thanks for being here, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, Natalie.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming. Thank you. Yeah, for sure. You can